How you doing? Welcome to the next video. Today, I'm going to talk about 16 ways to reduce your tiredness after you stop drinking alcohol. Now, this video is a sort of a continuation of the last couple of videos. The first was 13 ways that stopping drinking alcohol can cause you tiredness. The second was how long does the tiredness last? You can find both of those in on the channel. And like I said, this one is 16 ways that you can reduce tiredness. And I'm going to approach this from a very structural and practical perspective from two sides. The first are ways that you can avoid feeling tired in the first place. So you're conserving your energy levels. And the second way is that you can boost your energy levels when you are feeling tired, right? Some of the things that you can do to lift your energy levels up. So this is part of our 100 videos series that we started way back in December of 2021, where the last few videos now that we're doing on this, so we're going to be ending them this weekend. I've really enjoyed doing the videos. But don't worry, we'll be publishing a video every Sunday for the foreseeable future. So I've just got to focus my time on our platform at the moment. So we're going to be adding lots of new videos there. If you want daily structured videos for a full year, leading you through sort of our whole process, what I consider to be the best community for stopping drinking alcohol from my perspective, and making the most of your potential once you've started out on that journey. We've got lots of one-on-one coaching sessions. We've got lots of group sessions. So if you want to get that daily coaching, you can see our platform, which is up here. It's www.habitsv2.com. And we're still going to be offering you our short-term preparation course, which is from our platform. It's called the QSP for everyone who wants it. It's down below. It's free. Just click on the link and you can get that there. It's less than an hour, but it really will give you a boost in sort of preparing yourself to take this journey. Like if you're doing anything in life, I think any big change, then this short course should help you. All right. So the first thing I'd suggest that you do is to stay organized. Try to get as much structure into your life as possible. Structured time is going to reduce that decision making. Like we said earlier on, one of the reasons why people feel tired is because everything is unstructured. Everything seems to be chaotic. You're going from a perspective of stability, even though that stability is doing something which is dangerous and damaging to you, poisoning your life. It's still a form of stability. You know what to expect. You know that if you drink too much, you're going to get up the next day with a hangover and everything that entails. You know that when you go out, you're not going to be able to do much rather than do this. So you know what A is going to lead to B and C. Now, a lot of that structure is taken out and it's been replaced by chaos, right? So what I'm trying to say to you at this early stage is trying to get as much simple structure in your life as you possibly can in these early days. If I do this, then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do the other. Try and get that routine throughout your life, throughout your days. Like I said, mental clutter can be a real danger, and we'll talk about that in a different context in a minute. Second thing is to reduce complications as much as possible. Just keep things as simple as possible, right? Complication is going to bring complexity, and complexity is costly. The more complex something is, the more you've got to think about it, the more choices that are open to you in terms of coming to a solution. And that decision-making process is costly in terms of your energy levels. So think about it. We said earlier on in one of the earlier videos that this is your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more energy it's going to take. So you need to try and reduce the energy consumption as much as you possibly can. The next one is to reduce triggers. There's certain amounts of triggers that are just happening in your life because of alcohol. Certain things that you can't control. Right? Go out into the street and you're going to see alcohol. You're going to see alcohol advertised. You're going to see people drinking alcohol. There's people in your life that are going to still be drinking alcohol. There's places where you just cannot avoid it. It's just what switch on the TV and you're going to see people drinking. You might see advertisements on the TV. Switch on the internet and you're going to see it there. So reduce as many of the triggers as you can. There's certain amounts of things that you can do. Don't have alcohol in your house. Don't, switch to a different room where you're not being triggered, where your alcohol triggers weren't far enough. Those kind of things can reduce the triggers. Be prepared. The more preparation that you can have in these early days, the less there is time to ruminate on things, the more structure that you're going to have stepping over that line, the more clarity. You'll know where to go, you'll know what to do and what steps to do. Less fear, less decisions and less choices. So like I said, that course is down below, less than an hour, but it will give you a good preparation. If you want a whole 15 days preparation, then you have to join the program, but it's there for you. The next one is to avoid worry. Now, no, this is a difficult one at the best of times. It's a difficult one when you're stepping across that line and you're wondering, the things that are going to happen to you now. What's going to happen in a week? What's going to happen in a month? Like I said, there's a certain amount of chaos that happens because of any big change that happens in your life. So you have to try and reduce the worry, try and reduce the fear. And, one of the ways that you can do that is just by staying positive, keeping things down to a minimum, keeping things simple, having patience with the whole thing, keeping structure in your life. All of those things will help you systematically. And the next stage is to try and think as much as you can systematically. It's the same as staying mentally organized, but it's instead of the clutter that's happening in your life, we're talking about the mental clutter that's happening in your mind. The mental clutter is going to create a chaos in your life in general. You need to try and think as straight as possible. And one way of doing that is to think systematically. Think, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to not fill my head full of crap during the day. I'm going to breathe when I need to. I'm going to try and manage my triggers and manage my cravings as best as I can. I'm going to get some exercise. I'm going to eat well during the day. I'm going to drink plenty of water. I'm going to try and have a bedtime routine so that by the time I get into bed, I'm ready to sleep, that I haven't been wound up by things on the TV or other people. Think simply, think strategically in terms of this is what I'm going to do later on in the day. This is what I'm going to do tomorrow. But, in early days, just think about it from a day-to-day perspective. You're going to change your mindsets in the long term. That's without a doubt. You'll change your mental habits in the long term. You'll change a lot of the routines that you have in your daily life and the thinking routines. Even I notice that my posture is different now than when I was drinking. I suppose I'm spending a lot more time up on my feet and walking around now, and it's just I stand up taller. My shoulders are further back. Bit of confidence there and everything like that. But for now, like I said, keep it simple. Try and think systematically in terms of just this day. I'm getting past this day, and then tomorrow I'll think about tomorrow. And generally, if you can do the same thing tomorrow as you did today, then you're halfway there. The next one is to deal with procrastination. Don't be putting things off. I'm talking about things now, not in terms of the things that don't need to be done, but the things that need to be done. If you sat there and you feel a craving, get up and stand up and move around, get out of where you're going and just do it. If you feel like you need to push yourself out and if you feel the craving is strong enough, just get out and exercise. If you haven't stopped drinking alcohol, then when are you going to do it? When is the right time for you? It's never the right time. So if you're waiting to restart after you maybe have had a little slip, then there's no time like the present. So try to avoid procrastination, because procrastination, again, is one of those things that is going to it will create clutter in your mind because it's there in the back of your thoughts all the time, the thing that you want to be doing. And while you're trying to focus on something that's out in front of you, you're all the time thinking about this bloody thing that's happening in the back of your mind, the thing that you're supposed to be doing. And now I want to talk about the vigorous cycle. Now, the vigorous cycle is something that I teach all the time, because I think it forms a real good foundation for everything that's going to follow in your life. The first thing is to eat healthy food, or eat as healthy as you can do. Whole foods, whatever it is, whatever you think is the definition of good, healthy food, then eat that. You can learn about these things as you're going through it, but try to eat some whole foods, fruit and vegetables, and, reduce the amounts of processed foods that are going into your system. Reduce caffeine is another thing, especially in the early days, because that's going to really, it can seem like it will give you a boost in the moment, which it does. But at the other end of the day, when you're trying to sleep and you're trying to get that rest, it can be something that bites you then, so think about that. Exercise is always a good thing. Like I said, for just getting out there in your general well-being in these early days. I always felt better when I was out walking. Like I said, when I started out on this journey, I was out 3 or 4 hours every day. Just walking and thinking and walking. It kept me busy, and that was a great thing, just to keep my mind occupied in the first days of this. So exercise is a great thing, and it keeps the triggers at bay, it keeps the cravings at bay. So another thing is to drink a lot of water. The half the battle with stopping drinking alcohol is to keep yourself satisfied in terms of thirst. So if you keep yourself hydrated, you're keeping yourself satisfied, and it will help to clear your brain and to give you clearer thoughts. Right? Sleep is difficult for some people in the beginning. Like I said, for me it was 30 days before I was really able to sleep well. But it was a small sacrifice to play. And brain input. There's a lot of shit happening in the world at the moment, but how you just try and keep that input to a minimum, as little as you can, because that kind of stuff will play in your mind all the time, and it will tire you out. Like I said, we've all this other stuff that is happening in our lives, this personal change, this personal chaos that's happening. You don't want to add to that as little as possible. So try and keep that down to a minimum. Also have regular power downs, and what I mean is, that can come in many different forms. It can be a meditation sort of session where you sit down for 10 or 15 minutes and you just relax and breathe. For me, that would be a walk around the block and just let my mind wander, and that's enough of a meditation for me. Take an evening off and do something in the evening, or take a weekend break. Make sure you have regular getaways if you can afford it, and if you've got places near you, do that. Siestas was always a great one for me, just to get 20 minutes or a half an hour during the day, get my head down, and made me feel a lot better. I still do that to this day. Like I say, next one is meditation. And for me, meditation was always, I tried sitting down, my legs crossed, with the kunji, we used to call it, with the fingers touching, and just trying to get into that. It was just not for me. I couldn't do it, So my meditation has always been walking or doing things, trying to focus my mind, just not on anything in particular, just letting it wander. And that's really helped me. So I think long-term care as well starts in the moment where you're looking after yourself. You're working on yourself on an internal basis. You're trying to really reduce the negative talk, reduce the negative worry that's going on. That's basically what I wanted to talk to you about. Hopefully you got something out of that. It's just a continuation of the last two videos. 16 ways I think we covered in this one. That's to complete the series. We talked about some of the structural and the practical ways that you can approach this from two sides. First that, when you're feeling tired, that you're trying to conserve as much energy as possible. You're not expending it, and then being prepared, thinking systematically and dealing with procrastination. And secondly, we looked at ways of boosting your energy levels so that when you're feeling tired, you have some things that you can do to lift your energy levels. For me, that was the vigorous cycle, the regular power downs, getting my siesta, or just going out for a 10 or 15-minute walk and letting my mind wander was the best thing for me. Some form of meditation, that kind of thing. So I'll leave it there for today. If you want another video to watch how being an alcoholic is ruining your life, it's not what you think, that's up here. Take care of yourself, and I will speak to you in the next video. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.